Alpine Liquid Fertilizers is your full-season crop fertility specialist from start to finish. Visit alpinepfl.com for more.
Bernard Tobin here at the Ontario CCA conference in London. I'm catching up now with Colin Elgie. He is the OMAFA soil fertility specialist. Colin, how's it going?
It's going great, Bern. It's a fantastic crowd here today in beautiful London, and as long as the snow stays away, everyone will be happy.
Now, you've got some news you just talked about here from the stage about, I guess some Ontario Soil Management Committee work. A committee that used to be around a while ago has gone away, but now it's coming back because you guys really need to update, some Ontario soil fertility recommendations. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, so the Ontario Soil Management Committee, or OSMC as we shorten it to, it's kind of an important committee that's really been behind the scenes this whole time when it comes to updating Ontario nutrient recommendations and other soil management recommendations. It's a committee that's been around in various names since at least the late 80s, but always kind of been the gatekeeper of the any guidelines that we've got published in our OMAFA guidebooks. So the agronomy guide for field crops, the vegetable production guide, soil fertility handbook. All those recommendations that are published in there, they originally come through this committee before being approved for publication.
So talk about, I guess, maybe the purpose of bringing the committee back now. I guess you got to review and approve. You got a lot of stuff on the books that maybe needs another look and needs to be updated.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things I hear pretty consistently is that our Ontario recommendations are outdated or they don't fit our high yields. And so that's what the purpose of this committee is to really identify that, these recommendations that do need updating, make sure we're getting good, valid data to support updating those recommendations, and really making ourselves known that we are out here so that researchers, that on-farm cooperators, that private industry, anybody who's doing this research on farms, that they've got a place to come to help us get the data to update those recommendations.
Talk about the committee membership. Who's on it, Colin? I guess, how do you get on it and who do you need on it?
Yeah, so it's a kind of an important thing when it comes to this committee is it differs a lot from other jurisdictions. So some of the universities in the States, it might be a single person that's in charge of their entire soil fertility recommendations. But the OSMC is a group comprised of not just OMAFA, but also other governments, so Ag Canada. But what's really important is we've got the researchers themselves that are involved with that from various universities, from private industry, and having farm organizations on the committee as well is huge to enable that any recommendations that we've got, they're being approved by a wide variety of stakeholders across the province to really make sure that they make sense for the fields that they're going on.
Now, today you actually talked about some of the specific recommendations that you need to tackle. Let's run through them. First of all, for our practices.
Yeah, so the committee's kind of got a few 5-year themes. One being for our practices. We know that we've got widespread use of for our practices, but when a lot of our fertility recommendations especially came about, some of those practices didn't exist. So things like nitrogen inhibitors, we know that we're able to utilize that nitrogen better, but we don't know exactly what that means in terms of credits for our recommendations. So integrating things like production economics, ensuring that the crops that we're growing now fit the recommendations that we've got. Also looking at soil conservation, ensuring that not just fertility recommendations, but soil management recommendations are looked after. And also integrating all our inputs, so things like manure, organic amendments, biologicals, all the different sources of plant food and everything that we've got, they're all tied into our recommendations.
Yeah, something like biologicals, an interesting case there, something that's really new on the scene in recent years that you really need to get into the recommendations, right?
Absolutely, yeah, and right now, it's still a learning process for a lot of these products, but that's where we find it so important to have this group that comes together so we can identify, hey, this product or this situation, this really works well, and we've got to say go for it.
Hey, last question. That is, how people can get involved, how growers can get involved. I know you're looking for participants and just information and questions and contributions. You've got a website. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so our website right now we've got hosted on Field Crop News. But if you Google Ontario Soil Management Committee, you'll come to our webpage, and from there we've got a bit more information about what the committee is, who makes it up, as well as some of the guidelines for the data required for recommendations, how the whole process works and all that. But easy place to reach out as well is to call me or email me, colin.elgie@ontario.ca. I'm the current secretary for the OSMC, and I can get you the information you need.
Great stuff, Colin. Always great to catch up. Thanks for making some time for Real Agriculture.
Thanks a lot, Bern. Always a pleasure talking with you.